Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, and in today's video I will talk about um, my travel blues healing process. Okay, so I haven't posted a video ever since I came back to Canada, so it's been a month and a half. No, it's more than a month. Well, no, a month and a half-ish. And for the first few weeks when I got back to Canada, I was going through my travel blues. And if you don't know what travel blues are, at least my definition of it is when you've traveled. And in my case, I feel the travel blues when I come back from long travels, like long-term travels, like few months or up to a year. I've been away for a very, very long time, and then I come back to Canada and I have this couple of weeks of readjusting myself, and in that travel blues space or vibration, I feel down. I don't have low energy. Um, I want to say depression. That's a big term, but it's in a depressive like state of being. So very low energy. I'm not really hyped to do anything. I just want to be in my bubble, and I have to sort out all kinds of feelings within me. But people experience it differently. This is the way that I experience it. And so today I want to share with you how I heal or readjust myself um, out of that travel blues phase. And for different people, it lasts for however long. And as for me, I've noticed that depending on what happened during the long-term trip, because some stuff that can happen during the trip I don't process until I'm back home, or it doesn't land within me until I'm back home, and I start realizing certain things, because I'll take time to reflect on the trip. So depending on the summary of the trip and how I feel when I come back home, it's the duration, the length of the travel blues phase will vary. So with this trip, it lasted about, I would say in grand total, maybe 4 weeks. And it wasn't like during the 4 weeks, I wasn't in the same headspace. Because at first, like, I was a little bit on a high, and then I dipped, and then around week 3, slowly starting finding my way up. But the whole process itself was 4 weeks. And I just want to note that it had nothing, the travel blues, you can feel it for whatever reason that you feel it. I know for a fact I didn't feel it because I missed Costa Rica. Like, I don't. I did not, and I still don't. And I think I'll make a different video about that, like now that I've processed my trip and everything that came along with it. And I could make a different video about that, but it had nothing to do with missing there, because actually, fun fact, it's the first time that I come back to Canada from a very lengthy trip, and I'm actually very excited to come back. Very first time in my whole entire adult life that I come back to Canada, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you. While I was on the flight to come back here, I remember thinking, like, will this plane hurry up and get there? And when the flight was over my city, there's this moment where, for a fact, okay, we're flying over Montreal. You see the Olympic Stadium. And when I saw the Olympic Stadium, my heart exploded in joy. Okay, I was like, oh my God, I'm here. I was so excited because I knew my best friend was waiting for me at the airport. I was just so excited to be there. I was like, please land this plane so I can get off and just be in my city. And so I was excited to come back, but it didn't change the fact that I still went through the travel blues phase. Anyways, okay, so back to the point of this video. I will share with you in no particular order things that I've done to help me through the travel blues process. And if ever you see me looking down, it's because I took notes. I didn't want to forget anything. So let's get into it. All right, so first thing on my list that I wrote down was giving myself time to reintegrate or to land. So of course, we all have different lives, different commitments, different obligations, but as per my life, I was able to give myself time to integrate or to land. So I knew that upon arriving, I didn't want to work right away. I didn't want to be involved with all kinds of things right away. I gave myself some space. So how I also do that, because now I know for a fact, like, okay, when I come back, I might go through the phase, maybe not, maybe yes, but I still want to give myself time to just land. So I don't tell everybody that I know that, hey, I'll be back in my city on this date, you know. I just want to give myself some space. Certain key people will definitely know, like my parents, my best friends, my very close circle. They'll know, but outside of that, it's like, okay, well, I want to give myself space because I don't want everybody to start calling me and, hey, can I see you? And even before I arrived, a lot of people were already getting in touch with me because they had an idea that I was coming back during the summer. So they were already trying to schedule things. So while I was in Costa Rica, I was already planning, like, okay, I see you on this weekend or that weekend in August. Okay, I'll see you in July. It was a lot. So, but I wanted to give myself that space. So no commitments, nothing major to have to deal with. Just at least a couple of weeks where I can just take time to fully land. My body is here, but I need my spirit to also like fully be here. So I gave myself that time, and that really helped me to just reconnect to being here. And in relation to that, another note that I wrote was to have a clean and an organized space. So I'll take that time to move very slowly, sleep in if I have to. There's no schedule per se during that phase, but also during that phase, um, at least as far as my own personality is concerned, I really like to have a clean and organized space. So undoing all my luggage and taking my time. There's no rush. I don't rush myself into the whole process, but undoing my luggage, washing all the clothes, getting everything organized, cleaning my space from all the dust, washing all my sheets, all my towels, just really making the space clean and organized so I can flow easily in my space, at least for once that phase of the travel blues is over. I know that once I get back on my beat, then everything is ready and good to go. And it also comforts me to know that, okay, well, everything is placed where I need it to be. So if I'm having a very slow and down type of energy day, then I know where my things are. I don't have to go and look through my luggage. I don't have to go and figure things out. It's like, no, I took the time every day at my own rhythm to just have everything placed where it needs to be, have everything clean. So if I need a few towels because I'm gonna take a bath, or I'm gonna do some type of self-care ritual, then everything is already ready for me to use. So I ensure that whatever I'll need, everything's ready for it. But I do it at my own rhythm, no rush again. I know the first few days, there's food, okay, and God bless my mama, she'll cook for me and have some meals ready for me. So I'll have those, and they even go and do a few groceries for me, at least key things that they know, okay, well, she has to have her almond milk. We'll get her some fruits. She loves her smoothie. So my parents will hook me up and have a few things ready for me, just to make that transition easier. And they're used to it because for all the years that I've been traveling long term like this, they know, like, okay, well, when Caroline comes back, and even with my best friend and with my friends, it's the same thing. My best friend will have things for me ready to go, and even her time, she'll be like, okay, what do you need from me? I'm here for you. Can I go and get things for you? And it's just knowing this, that you're received with arms that want to hold you like a baby. And I really appreciate that. So I thank you to the Most High for having that blessing in my life of these people who love me and care for me and see me when I come back and understand what I need and offer it to me. So there was that as well that truly helped me in my phase. So again, so that was related to having a clean and organized space, just ready for me to just go through my phase, my travel blues. All right. The next point I'll mention is having structure. So this also kind of ties up with the point I just mentioned before about having a clean and organized space. Now, next would be having not a clean, but I mean, some type of structure with my time. So, of course, at first, full freedom in just being how I need to be. There's no time for me to wake up. There's no time for me to go to bed. There's no time for me to eat. There's no time for me to do whatever. I'm just free in my time to just reintegrate and allow my body and my mind to be. What do we need to breathe through? What do we need to be with? What sensations, what emotions do I need to be with? And I just give myself full freedom in time and space to experience and explore that. But I also know that in that phase, like I said, like at first I'm on a high, I was on a high, and then there was that little dip where full freedom in just being. But for the come up, I intuitively know, okay, well, I need some structure to help me come up. And especially for the fact that where I was, I'll just speak on the last trip because there are other trips where all kinds of things have happened. I'll probably make a video about that, like staying in a yoga space. A lot of beauty to it, but also the other side of the medal, you know, and that people don't know about, especially if they've never worked or stayed long term in those spaces. There are things that you don't know that happen, and that can happen. And so, anyways, to get back to what I was saying, I'll touch on that in a different video, okay? But so there wasn't a lot of structure and especially boundaries. It was hard to have your to me it almost feels like I was not able to have my boundaries really set and respected because I mean, you live, you sleep, you eat where I was at, where I contributed at. And so even on my days where I didn't have to contribute, because I'm where, you know, everything is happening, you know, people still ask questions, people still come to you, they see you, you're easily accessible, and you know, on the phone, like all the messages coming through from all the groups, and you always feel like you're connected. And so there's never really space for me to just do me. It was very difficult, and there was no structure in time because there was no structure in time. Any moment, anything can happen, and day or night. And I knew that going in. I definitely knew that going in. But what I was, after a while, what I was less comfortable with was the fact that, you know, well, if it's not my day to contribute, unless there's an emergency and I have to you know, I'm willing to contribute. But it's like, well, how can we really respect that person's space, you know? And so there was no structure in time and space in that way. And so coming here, I knew that I needed that structure coming out of my travel blues to just help me like channel my energy in one direction, and to know that, okay, you know, this is the frame within which, this is the container within which I can, you know, do this or do that, or how I want to experience something. And so I guess maybe this can be also related to my work as well. So I knew coming here that I'm working on a yoga project that I am creating, and I didn't want to put the pressure on my yoga project to be my breadwinner right away, because I feel like that what's the English word, hinders, I don't know, but it puts pressure on my creativity, and it doesn't allow it to flow freely. So in order not to have that happen with this project that I'm working on, I decided to work in a different field, and that's going to be my breadwinner. And so that structure is set, like, okay, this is my money thing, what's bringing me the money at this very moment. And so this is one structure that I have. Okay, this is my schedule. I go in, I go out, and then once I'm out of work, okay? Like nobody's calling me or trying to having access to me to, hey, there's this and that. No, once I'm out of the job, it's like bye, and that's it. I don't see them or hear from them for the rest of the day, and this actually brings me a lot of comfort and peace because I did not have that where I was staying. And then so this allows me, when I work on my yoga project, I have a full flow of creativity and I can play with it as much as I want because there's no pressure around it. And so once it's time to like put it together and package it in a way where I can offer it to people, it'll be a different story. But until then, I allow my feminine energy to just be completely wild and free for my yoga project, and it flows beautifully. So my phone cut off, but as I was saying, my inner masculine energy can has helped me figure out a structure where, okay, well, my money is coming in from this direction, and therefore your feminine energy, your creativity, just tapping into things that I imagine that I desire to make happen, to bring forth. Well, I have full freedom to do that without the stress of, okay, well, this has to be my breadwinner. And so it just flows very naturally and with ease. Okay, so that was as far as structure is concerned. And the next tip that I'm gonna share, I'm gonna go with low impact movement. So my body really needed to make sure my body moves. Now, of course, again, like I said, I allow myself a lot of time and space to just relax, to just be. If I just want to lay down, if I want to be in the hammock, I allowed my body. What you want, body, I give to you. Okay. But at the same time, also being aware that I need to move, and what felt good was low impact type movement. I remember thinking, oh, I want to go to Be Fit, and this is like a workout group. It's hype as hell. It is so good, but that's really much more like intense. And the thought of that didn't feel right in my body. I felt resistance right away. I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe it's not the right time to do that. And I wanted to do this abs challenge. And then I did it once and it just felt wrong in my body. I was like, oh, okay, it's not the time to do that. Even a yoga asanas, yoga postures, full sequence did not feel right. Like, even that, my body said, no, that's not what I want. And I was like, well, what do you want, body? Tell me. Walks, going on walks, and not even power walks, just go for a walk, go for long walks. I walk almost every day, at least 5-6 days out of the week. I go for a night walk, and it's about a what hour 15 minutes, hour and a half walks. I go for very long walks, and oh my god, does that feel good. So I go on walks, and where I work, I have access to a pool and a sauna. I go swim, and sometimes I do laps, and sometimes I just feel like doing the cute bit, flips in the water or things like that, just being playful. But movement, being in movement. Sometimes I just dance. I put on some music and I dance. That's going to be a different tip that I'm going to talk about too. I do light stretches, nothing deep that's really like straining my body. No, very light stretches, very light, just light stretches. I am not pressuring my body. I definitely am giving my body time and space this summer to just. And this morning, fun fact, I was thinking, oh, my body feels, I don't want to say almost ready, but I can feel that slow transition into like, hey, you know what? It would be fun here and there to up the notch a bit, so maybe go to that training group that I was telling you about, maybe in September. We'll see how we feel then, but it's starting. I can intuitively feel that call that, hey, soon maybe we'll want to do something different, and just up the ante. Oh, also going on bicycle rides. Oh my god, a whole vibe. And again, not like speeding, like just a pleasurable bicycle ride. And I go for a long ride, and sometimes I stop and I smell the flowers or I look at the water, and then I hop back on the bike and just keep it moving. So low impact and just allowing my body the space to move how it wants to move, like really honoring my body. And it also affects my mental space because there's no discord, there's no disharmony between my body and my mind. My mind's not trying to force my body into something. And when I thought that I wanted something and tried to force it on my body said no. And I listened. I was like, oh, my bad. I thought maybe you wanted that, but you don't. This is what you want. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. So really just honoring that within myself has helped me. In order for this video not to be like 5 hours long, I think I'm going to cut it here today, and I will touch on the other ones in a second video. So I'll do a part 1 and a part 2. So for today, those are the ones that I'm going to share. So just a brief recap, giving myself time to reintegrate to land, having a clean and organized space, having some structure, at least when I start to feel like, okay, the energy is shifting from being like on the downer to coming up, give myself some structure on the come up from that down phase in my travel blues, you know, moment, and low impact movements, to really just move my body how my body desires to be moved and not me forcing it upon my body. So those are the 4 tips that I share for today. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 other ones that I'll share in the next video. It'll be more like vap, vap, vap. Today I just needed to introduce the, you know, what I was talking about. So that's probably why it took a little more time. But the next video I'll be able to like go a little bit faster through it. And I think I'll wait for the next video to also share some footage of things that I've done ever since I came here, and it'll be related to what the next points are. So I think it'll make the video a little more interesting for you as well, and to see, you know, what I've been doing here ever since I got here. So anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Have you gone through the travel blues, and what have you done to help you heal or process and move through that phase during, you know, after coming back from a long trip, and how, like, what are travel blues for you? How does it manifest, and what and after what type of trips? Is it even after short trips, or trips when you go see family because you moved away from your family? Is that when you experience it the most, or after long-term trips like me? Yeah, so just let me know in the comments, and like this video if it resonated with you, and I will be back for part 2, hopefully in the next few days or within the week. And of course, subscribe to the page if you haven't already and you want more videos like this. On that note, I'll let you go, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace.